Imagine this: you wake up 50,000 years ago, naked and alone on an African savanna. No shelter, no fire, no tools. Just you, your modern human brain, and a world that wants to kill you. Could you survive even one day? Every day, millions of people escape to nature documentaries, camping trips, and outdoor adventures, romanticizing the simple life of our prehistoric ancestors. We imagine ourselves as rugged hunter-gatherers living off the land with nothing but our wits. But the reality of Paleolithic life was far more brutal than any reality TV show. Modern archaeology reveals that our Stone Age ancestors faced challenges that would crush most of us within hours. The Smithsonian Institution's Human Origins program notes that our ancestors met astonishing challenges in their surroundings and were susceptible to disease, injury, and predators. Recent discoveries from 2024 show just how sophisticated these early humans had to be just to stay alive. The question isn't whether you're tough enough. The question is whether your modern brain and body could adapt fast enough. Before Paleolithic world claimed another victim. Let's find out what it would really take. Your first challenge wouldn't be finding food or making fire. It would be staying alive long enough to worry about those luxuries. Research on evolutionary predators shows that spotted hyenas regularly prey on baboons, and in some regions people. The extinct short-faced hyena, Picrata, was the size of a lion and had a mouth capable of fully enveloping a hominid's head. Every shadow, every rustling bush, every snap of a twig could mean death. Our anxiety responses evolved specifically because our predecessors stood a good chance of being eaten by bigger, badder species. Your modern body would actually work against you. Anthropologist Klint Janulis from the University of Oxford explains that most hunter-gatherers today grow up tracking from birth and become keen observers of nuances of animal behavior that would be completely missed by most people who haven't been raised in that manner. While you're squinting at the horizon, trying to figure out if that shape is a rock or a lion, a Paleolithic human would have already identified the threat, calculated escape routes, and started moving towards safety. Your life would depend on learning faster than you've ever learned before. Finding shelter becomes your next desperate priority. Excavations reveal that prehistoric hunter-gatherers would have used natural shelters as living space. Overhanging cliffs would have provided a place to nestle into, to escape the wind and rain, and caves were highly popular. But here's where modern humans face a cruel irony. In very cold climates, some people made shelters from ice and snow, and used the large bones from dead woolly mammoths to build frames for shelters. Without thousands of years of inherited knowledge, you'd be trying to reinvent architecture while hypothermia crept through your bones. The 5,000-year-old remains of Gizmodo the Iceman shows sophisticated clothing was possible, including a heavy coat made of goat and sheep hide stitched together, along with tight-fitting leggings and shoes constructed from woven grass, tree fibers, and deer hide. The problem: creating even basic shelter requires tools you don't have, materials you can't identify, and techniques that took our ancestors thousands of years to perfect. Every night without adequate protection brings you closer to becoming another casualty of the Paleolithic world. Fire wasn't just comfort for Paleolithic humans. It was the difference between life and death. Evidence from sites like Kubi Fora in Kenya shows that fire enabled hunter-gatherers to stay warm in colder temperatures, cook their food, and scare wild animals. But making fire from scratch requires more than rubbing two sticks together. Anthropologist Fagan from the University of California, Santa Barbara notes that Ice Age devised tools and strategies to survive harsh climates and develop sophisticated fire-making techniques. Without modern tools, you'd need to master friction-based methods that require specific wood types, proper tinder, and technique perfected through countless failures. Meanwhile, every sunset brings another night of vulnerability to predators and cold. Modern experiments show that even experienced primitive skills instructors often struggle for hours to create fire under ideal conditions. Imagine attempting this while hungry, cold, and listening to hyenas calling in the distance. Your ancestors didn't just make fire. They mastered an art form that kept their species alive. Hollywood shows cavemen casually throwing spears at mammoths. But real Paleolithic hunting required sophisticated knowledge that modern humans simply don't possess. As Janulis explains, the biggest lost skill for survival is not any one technique or prehistoric craft, but instead the loss of culturally and generationally developed subsistence patterns specific to an environment. Fossil records from eastern France show that Ice Age hunters built fires every fall and spring to corral migrating herds of wild horses and reindeer into a narrow valley, where animals could safely and easily be killed at close quarters, harvesting an abundance of meat that was then dried for the summer and winter months. This coordinated hunting continued for tens of thousands of years. But hunting was just half the challenge. A 2016 study of early humans in Israel revealed that early hunter-gatherers had a varied diet and ate up to 55 different types of plants. Identifying edible plants required generational knowledge passed down through families and bands. The consequences of getting this wrong were deadly. As research shows, the seeds of the jiquity plant look tasty. Too bad they'll kill you. It contains the abrin protein, one of the most lethal known botanical toxins. One wrong choice and your prehistoric adventure ends in poisoning. While you're focused on lions and leopards, microscopic predators pose an equally deadly threat. Recent genetic analysis suggests that many human-specific infectious diseases may have originated in the Paleolithic period, rather than during later agricultural periods. DNA evidence from ancient humans reveals that even in the Upper Paleolithic, pathogens were present within teeth, most likely in the blood of humans living 32,000 years ago. Without modern medicine, or even basic antiseptics, a simple cut could become a life-threatening infection. Parasites also shaped human evolution. Research indicates that parasitic worms, whose presence may have shaped our immune systems, to such an extent that some of us miss their absence. Your modern immune system, adapted to contemporary challenges, might be poorly equipped for ancient diseases. Even drinking water presented mortal danger. Paleolithic humans had to identify safe water sources, while avoiding those contaminated with deadly parasites and bacteria. Every sip was a calculated risk. Perhaps your only hope lies in the same strategy that allowed our ancestors to thrive: cooperation. Dig sites show that during the Paleolithic age, hominins grouped together in small societies such as bands with family groups of about 25 or fewer people, because survival was generally difficult, and cooperation vital. These groups developed sophisticated structures where members recognized differences in ability and used them strategically. Individual toughness wasn't enough. Success required teamwork, shared knowledge, and collective problem solving. Ice Age humans collected and transmitted vast amounts of information about the seasons, edible plants, animal migrations, weather patterns, and more. Through art, music, and storytelling. The famous cave paintings at Lascaux and Chauvet weren't just decoration. They were instruction manuals. As Fagan notes, when wildlife biologists look at those paintings of reindeer and bison, they can tell you what time of year it was painted, just from the appearance of the animals' hides and skins. The way these people knew their environment was absolutely incredible by our standards. Your modern human brain offers some advantages. Research confirms that the basic structure of the human brain has remained essentially unaltered for tens of thousands of years. You possess the same intellectual capacity that allowed our ancestors to thrive. You might also have better nutrition and physical development than many Paleolithic humans. Studies suggest that while hunter-gatherers had nutritious diets, they also faced constant threats of starvation and resource scarcity. But your advantages pale next to your weaknesses. Modern life has eliminated the observational skills, environmental awareness, and physical conditioning that kept our ancestors alive. As Janulis explains, urbanized modern humans would not only be fighting their lack of knowledge of the new ecosystem, but also their lack of skill, observational powers, and awareness, which would likely lead them to grossly misplaced priorities and efforts. You've traded individual capabilities for technological dependence. Your ancestors could navigate hundreds of miles without GPS, identify dozens of edible plants, and track animals across diverse terrain. You can order food with an app. The brutal truth is that most modern humans would not last more than a few days in the Paleolithic world. According to experts, for urbanized humans trapped in a primitive situation, the only solution would be strong leadership, who understands group dynamics. Your best chance would be finding and joining an existing band of hunter-gatherers, willing to adopt a clueless newcomer. Even then, you'd need rapid learning, constant vigilance, and extraordinary luck. The margin for error in the Paleolithic world was razor thin. But perhaps that's what makes our ancestors' achievements so remarkable. Recent discoveries continue to reveal that early humans reached hostile environments much earlier than previously thought, and developed sophisticated technologies that allowed them to thrive in conditions that would kill us. They didn't just endure, they innovated, adapted, and ultimately conquered every environment on Earth. As research shows, our human ancestors' big, creative brains helped them devise tools and strategies to survive harsh climates. The next time you complain about your morning commute, or struggle to open a pickle jar, remember this: you are the descendant of the most successful champions in Earth's history. Your ancestors faced down saber-toothed cats, survived ice ages, and built the foundation of human civilization using nothing but stone tools and raw determination. Could you make it as a caveman? Probably not. But that's not a failure, it's a testament to how far we've come. We've traded individual capabilities for collective knowledge, personal toughness for technological power, and primitive existence for modern comfort. Our Paleolithic ancestors would be amazed by our world, just as we should be amazed by theirs. They endured so we could thrive, and in understanding their struggles, we gain a deeper appreciation for both our remarkable heritage and our extraordinary present. The real question isn't whether you could make it in their world. It's how you'll honor the incredible legacy they left behind.